0 to 100 real quick.
This is 0 to 100
with Natasha and Serena.
Hey everybody, welcome back to, I don't know why I said welcome back. I'm reading something and I just said it, but welcome back anyway to 0 to 100 with Natasha and Serena.
I mean, it's always welcome back because, you had to leave and then you had to come back, and here we are, we're back again.
Yes, it's August and it's like back to school time, and I have that Mace song because they play it on TV. Welcome back, welcome back. So yeah, it's appropriate.
Welcome back.
You said, right. I'm sorry, what? When I said Mace, is he that old? You said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I don't.
Because I thought you meant like May, like M-A-Y-S, like the month May. Like
oh, no.
May's been gone.
And Mace has been gone. Okay.
That's true.
All right.
Greatest.
What are we talking about today?
A lot of things.
Yes.
But we have to start it off.
Yes.
And we have to do our check-in. And, we typically start off by just, checking in. You do your 50 seconds, I do my 50 seconds,
okay.
Stuff like that. But I think in particular, since, we just came out of another mental health awareness month. Mm-hmm. July was Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And I want to switch it up just a little bit. And Serena, you've had a lot going on. So, yeah, update us. But I just really, really want you to say, just tell me and, the other folks listening, how are you mentally right now? How are you coping with everything? Where are you on the mental check radar?
Yes. Mentally, I am surviving. I'm alive. It changes daily. Some days I just feel like I want to just go lay down, go cry, and go stay in my bed and not get up. But I can't do that. Obviously, I have a life and I have a child and people who depend on me. So that's what kind of pushes me. Really just being there for other people right now, like my mom especially. She lost her husband, and my son as well, who was recently diagnosed with autism. And so just knowing that there's better on the other side, and that all the stuff that I'm doing is not in vain. I'm doing it because it's going to make my life better. It's going to make my son's life better, my mom, my family. So that is what really is pushing me and making me see the positivity in the situation, because honestly, there are just days when I just want to just go, crawl in bed and just not face anything really. So mentally, I don't know if that was a good enough answer, but it's I'm doing. So that's where I'm at.
It always sounds like we're doing good, right? Especially when we're so used to just saying, I'm fine.
Right.
But I think that was a pretty good explanation. It was honest. Do you feel like you're good though? I don't know how to do the radar. A 10 is I'm fantastic. There's nothing that could be done to me, to affect my mental health in a good way to where I would be better than what I am right now.
Right,
and obviously a 1 is girl, just, call the people because I ain't go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It just goes up and down. There are some times when I just wake up and I'm I'm ready to take on the world, and just I know what I need to do, and I'm doing it, especially when there's a lot to do, especially with my mom and Christian. There's a lot of paperwork and phone calls that need to be made and things like that. So when I'm doing that, I feel good. I feel okay, I know what I'm doing. I have a focus. I'm working towards something. But then when it's downtime, at night, or when I'm not doing something, then I'm probably closer to a 1, because I'm just ugh. Then I start thinking about everything that's going on, and I feel oh my gosh, I can't believe this is what's happening. But yeah, it just it fluctuates. But again, we were talking the other day, and I have a really good support system. I have family. At no time do I ever feel I'm going through it alone, but it's just always there. So it's just kind of and I'm in in the middle of it. I keep thinking to myself, like, I want to get to the other side. Like, I want to get to like the more positive side. I know there's always going to be a better side. You're not going to stay in a situation forever. And I just want to hurry up and get through it. But I know that's not the way life works. So I'm just looking forward to the day where these things won't be as hard as they are right now.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I think that's real fair, accurate response with regard to the fluctuation of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that's real life.
Right.
That is not just, after going through like a trauma or suffering from a loss. It really is just like real life. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that we have to just like give ourselves that grace and be patient with ourselves the way we are with the people that we care about and love, to allow ourselves to be, like a 3 1 day, and then just kind of keep pushing through that rough point to the point where we're like, okay, like there'll be a 10 or an 8 or something soon. And
Right.
then when that day comes, you embrace it, but know that, I'm going to enjoy this while it's here, because I might be down again soon.
Exactly. So, how you doing?
Girl. Same, surviving. Like, my favorite response is living the dream.
That's a good
Eye roll
response.
emoji. Eye roll emoji. I mean, I am just like, I'm better than surviving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. I am very similar to you. Just kind of going through the motions. Like, literally feeling like that's the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And other days, excuse me, I'm legit like, man, I could take on whatever. And like literally whatever comes to be when I'm feeling like that is like I'm unstoppable. And I personally like those moments. It's like bring it on. Like that's how I like to feel. And I'm also getting very comfortable in the days where it's like, well, I don't really have much to do today. I just feel like I need a recharge, and I do nothing. And
Right.
I will also I guess my main update today, in line with what we're talking about, will be that I have started back with my therapist on a regular schedule. So
Good.
yeah, about every week and a half, every 2 weeks, and it does amazing for me. And it's one of those things where it's like, I'm up here saying like therapy, therapy, therapy. I'm an advocate for it, and I am, but at the same time, it's like, am I making time for the stuff that I know is necessary? That I know, like, I'm not just reading stuff in a book and then regurgitating it back out. Like, this is legit what I'm saying. So how can I not follow? You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
since doing that, um, I just have felt better. And even if I'm at a 5 1 day, kind of sticking on track with assignments that she's given me as homework or things to do between the sessions, will kind of get me refocused, because my goal is just be the best person I can be, and legit like do my best. And some of my friends will say that like you on your off day is like someone else's like best day, but that's cool and all, but it's like my goal is to like be my best.
Right.
And lately I've just been feeling like, um I've just felt like I've just entered into like a new chapter, a new, like almost like a new realm. Like I'm just, things were just really, really disrupted, and not disruptive. Like it was just like and everything was just disrupted, and I just was really uncomfortable. So I've known from past experience that when that's happening, that means that something good is about to happen. Like it's my level up. So with that, like, they say you can't take everybody with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been one of those situations where it's like, dang, like some people that have been, kind of consistent in my life for a long time are no longer fitting.
Right.
So you have that moment where it's like, it must be me. And then do your self eval. And also with like my therapist, it's like, bruh, like you could not go to the doctor, get new glasses, and then your vision only change with certain people or certain situations.
That's true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, that's so true. Like, you literally can't be like, oh, I don't read the words on the paper well, I need glasses, and then go to the eye doctor and all it does is help you just read words better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see, like, you're gonna notice things on trees and, outside and on the TV that you never noticed before, because your vision literally changes and you grow and you become like a better person. So I've just had to kind of get over that, and it's like, love you, bye-bye. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's, pretty much it. That's a real general update. We couldn't really do this in a 100 because, we literally, like I said, on the video that I posted on our Instagram and Facebook page, we had to take the month of July and kind of practice what we preached and get our stuff together. And we've been separated for a long time, and I miss you, and I miss 0 to 100, but we're here. I mean, we're back. We're ready to talk again. Yeah.
Reunited.
Huh?
So we're reunited.
Yeah, man. And it feels so good. All right, so what we're talking about today, I think everyone at this point has pretty much heard about and knows all about this whole Britney Spears conservatorship saga, dilemma, issue, right? So let's, is it fair to say that everybody knows who Britney Spears is?
Yeah,
or am I crazy?
For sure. People know who Britney Spears is.
Right. I mean, I thought about, like, other moguls and, world icons like Michael Jackson. I'm like, wait, nah, I don't know if she know Michael Jackson. But no. I still feel like everybody knows Britney Spears.
Yeah, everybody does. She's pretty
like
much
across generational. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, she's solidified like as a Madonna or something.
You said certified. Okay,
solidified.
Certified.
Well, she's certified too, but I said solidified as a.
Oh,
yeah.
That's true. You have got your certificate and the mail's coming. Yes. But okay, let's do a proper introduction. So, I wrote out a little blurb as if we're introducing a panelist. Born in Louisiana in 1981, she started singing and dancing at a young age, eventually landing a role on the new Mickey Mouse Club with Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. Also,
which I used to watch.
Names. Mm-hmm. All right, fast forward to 1998. Her first single, Hit Me Baby One More Time. We all know that song, right?
Yes.
Looking back on the song and video now, it's sus AF. But we honestly didn't know any better back then, and I personally was amazed that her singing style took off the way that it did. But I was definitely singing along. Her career was pretty... Serena.
This is shady. Go ahead.
It was. You remember how she...
Yes. Yeah. Lord have mercy. All right. Go ahead.
Her career was pretty up and down from then until she announced she was taking an indefinite hiatus in 2019. We couldn't ignore all the other headlines, though, like when she married her backup dancer, Kevin, or when she shaved her head bald, like randomly. Mm-hmm. And ironically, I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, and saw her going into the hair salon. Yes. And I was like, dang, who is that? Because you see all the paparazzi all around. And then later on, I was watching the news. And I, look at it like, oh, who could that be? And it kind of looks like Britney Spears. Kind of look like this person. I don't know. And then it was all over the news, her coming out of the salon. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, like, that's the plaza I was in. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that was
so that's Britney.
Yeah. That was a cry for help when she did that. We didn't know. But yeah, that's around the time that we all thought she was losing her mind. She was hospitalized in and around 2008, and she was placed under a court-ordered conservatorship, naming her father as the guardian. And I remember, like, during that time, it was just like nonstop Britney news and media coverage. You would see, like, I remember seeing the video footage of her being rolled out of her home on a gurney, looking very bewildered and confused right after she shaved her head. And she was like going to gas stations, walking in barefoot, and she attacked paparazzi as well right after she shaved her head, she attacked a paparazzi car or whatever with an umbrella. I don't know.
Umbrella.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. It was a crazy time. And I remember even seeing like some media outlets had prepared her obituary, just because it was that crazy at that time. They were waiting to run the story in the headline. I was like, this is sick. Yeah. It was very crazy. I definitely remember that time. It was just always about Britney. But a conservatorship, we talked about it. That's a really kind of hard word to say. Conservatorship. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
it's
like
a
one of those
tongue
you gotta
twist.
break it down,
Yeah.
like phonetic.
According to the California court's official website, is where a judge appoints an individual or organization to care for another adult who is deemed unfit to care for themselves or to manage their own finances. And for Brittany, in her case, she's considered the conservatee, and her father Jamie is the conservator.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's like a legal thing. Like, and I didn't know it until I started saying around people, but literally, so like if you're uh given like a like you're taking a deposition, the person that is the witness who's giving the testimony is the deponees. I
Oh,
thought that was just like
I
I
never
started like
heard
wanting to
that.
put E at the end of it, E and or at the end of word, just like, give that kind of same description.
Yeah.
So this basically followed what you just described, that erratic behavior. It was like over the course of like a year, and during that time frame is when she shaved her head, when she
Mhm.
attacked the paparazzi, and was just acting a fool. We don't know why, but to us, how the media was spinning is like, this girl's losing her
Right.
daggone mind. And so as a result, she was put under what's called a 5150 hold, in a psychiatric hospital. And that's when they do a mental health evaluation. So I'm sure in different areas called different things. Here we usually say like they're Baker acted when someone calls and they say, these particular things are going on. And if the box is checked, then the hospital and professionals have to step in and do an evaluation. So at the time, her dad, Jamie, petitioned the courts for an emergency temporary conservatorship. And he claimed that his daughter was unable to properly care and manage herself amid her mental health struggles. From there, he was given the legal right to oversee and make decisions regarding her finances, her health, business deals, and personal life, which he managed up until 2019. So now back up. This started in what year?
Yeah, 2008.
98?
She was
No, I'm sorry,
hospitalized.
1998.
Yes, when her career started.
Uh-huh. And so look,
Hmm.
what? And
Yeah.
then like, come on. This is little plug right quick. This is why I'm pushing everyone to get a will.
Yeah.
Because you need to have this kind of stuff in place. You don't know what's going to happen. No one thinks they're going to lose their mind or that they're going to be in a health crisis or whatever, but you might. And you need to have something legally in place that says, this is the person that's responsible for me.
Oh my God. This is why you're a
Mm-hmm.
lawyer, because I never even thought about a will being in place for if you lose your mind. Oh my
Girl,
gosh.
yeah. So we'll talk about it. So we'll get you a durable power of attorney. And it's important for you because you are a mother.
Yeah. Oh my
So
gosh.
you don't ever want to think of a situation, but we watch Lifetime. We know
Hmm.
those horrific situations where the mother and the father passes like in a car accident or something like that, and then it's like, what do you want to happen?
Wow.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you just gotta have that stuff in place. But we'll save that for another time, or I'll push it to lip gloss. But it's crucial for something
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
because So
Okay, so what we know is multiple sources have reported that during the 12 years of Spears' conservatorship, she has repeatedly toured the world, released multiple albums, and worked on a variety of television shows, which we've seen. I think she even had a residency in Las Vegas.
right.
Her conservators decide whether or not she works or if she can enter into contracts for herself because she is not legally able to do that on her own. She needs permission from her conservators to leave her house or to spend any of her own money. I think even some reports came out where I think it was in her court testimony, where she said that even she was forced to have birth control. Like she's not allowed to even have a baby, make that decision on her own. Yeah. Britney fans have long been wary of the conservatorship. There's always been little chirpings here, people saying stuff on social media, and they've been wary of the terms and often question whether it was in Britney's best interest. And recently, the hashtag Free Britney movement made a resurgence because of an episode of Britney's Graham podcast during which an anonymous lawyer, formerly part of the firm that oversees Britney's conservatorship, expressed concerns over Britney's camp and her father running the pop star's life. There's also been an explosive documentary, which Britney has come out and said that she was super embarrassed by. That came out. It was named
The Framing
Framing
Britney
Britney.
Spears one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that also brought that to light too. more audiences who didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, I think I felt like I was late to the party with regard to that documentary, but that's why instead of um just quoting a bunch of stuff, because when we opened this up and I was like, what is going on with Britney? And looking online and I'm like, dang, like I'm late. Like everybody
Hmm.
already knows about this. Y'all have read the entire transcript? Oh gosh. Okay. But I just wanted to get a discussion going because I mean, like I sometimes I it's hard now after a decade of, wearing the lawyer hat. It's kind of hard sometimes to take it off even when I think it's off. And sometimes it's hard to keep it on even when, it needs to stay on. Sometimes it does get blurred. But like I think this is a little crazy for that amount of time.
Hmm.
And I just want to know from like your standpoint so I don't like merge the hats right now and just, from not even understanding the legal aspect of it and the whys, the ins and outs or whatever. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think she needed a conservatorship? Like, do you think the whole hashtag free Britney that they were like overstepping? And if they're overstepping now, like, were they still overstepping back in, or if they're not overstepping now, then what about like back in 2009 when
Yeah.
we were all looking at the media saying like, girl.
Yeah. And you know what? I look back at that because until this Free Britney movement and until the Framing Britney Spears um, documentary was released, I knew she was under something where her father was the one who was kind of in control and she wasn't making decisions. I didn't know how strict it was, but I also always think of things from a point of view of media, PR, marketing point of view, and really that documentary was spot on when as the title being Framing Britney Spears, because the media really did a good job, whether it was true or not, of really painting a picture of this girl is not able to take care of herself. Because when her father stepped in to take control of her and her estate, it kind of seemed like from someone who was watching during that time, like, oh my gosh, thank God, like this girl's out of control. You hear the reports, like I said, of media outlets preparing her obituary or reports of, like the headline that she had passed away, because it was that serious at that time. So it was just like, thank God someone in her family is taking control and protecting her. We didn't mention at the time when Britney Spears was also losing her mind, you can't forget that there was a man in the picture. His name was something Lufty or whatever, and there were reports that he was taking advantage of her, like, and her family wasn't able to see her and that he was making all the decisions. So there was another character in the picture who was kind of unsavory and was doing some weird crooked things. And so it was like, thank God her family's coming in, they're stepping in, they're going to get her, healthy and back under control. I don't think any of us ever thought that we were going to be here 12 years later and she would be saying, I've been a prisoner for all this time, and um, it's just the media really played a huge part in helping to people to accept this conservatorship. And I know in the court of law, those things are not supposed to come into play. It's supposed to be all factual, but in my opinion, they do come into play. Like whoever was there helping to make the decisions definitely saw those things on TV, just like we all did.
True.
You
True.
know?
I think the biggest thing is like the amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I mean, as a kid, we can't wait to grow up. We're like, I can't wait to be an adult and I don't have to listen to anyone. And it's like she hits adulthood and it's like, psych, you ain't no real adult. You still gonna have your daddy telling you what to do. And I personally think that it's frustrating to hear people have an opinion about, like, oh, that's her dad. Like, he wouldn't, or he would never, or whatever. And it's like, how much do people have to know to be able to, like, take this thing out of their brain to say, like, no? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, parents abuse kids all the time,
Right?
as kids and as adults. And with regard to the media, I definitely think that was like a huge thing because we know now more than ever about propaganda and spinning things and being so super one-sided and quote unquote fake news, and we know how that works. And I just think it's insane for the person as an adult regardless of what her mental conditions may be, if she has, any diagnosed conditions, or if people were messing with her,
Mm.
either, who knows, like if she was being drugged. Like I see this similar to like human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she was working majority of that time, so for like a decade, she basically had someone bossing her around and letting her spend her money and do, the things that she was doing. She was allowed to do those things. And his lawyer, Jamie's lawyer, kept wanting to use the word collaborate. Well, he collaborated with her. Well, if she's not in her right mind, then how was, what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Because the first request that she made to have someone else assigned as her conservator, like that, what I'm saying? Like that should have been that right there.
Yeah.
For them to at least look into it. And it's like, who around her like had her back and was protecting her? Because there's no situation where a former drug addict was gonna be like should have just been solely responsible for someone else. Like, where's the board of trustees or something to manage her trust? Like, that's crazy to me. And the media, of course, will spin stuff, and they do it with police. The more we talk about defund the police, the more they're gonna have like scenarios in the media where the police are needed to make people think like, oh my gosh, the world would be crazy without police, and then you'll forget how crazy it was with the police. So it's I think that's a huge deal, the
Mm-hmm.
media. And I actually forgot about the obituary thing, but that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy
Mm-hmm.
because it does. I mean, it's a natural response. Like, oh, so glad they got that poor girl some help.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
And mm-hmm.
I think it's very telling that she requested someone else to be her conservator, not even to just get rid of it, but she wasn't like, oh, hey, I need to be out on my own, free and willy nilly. She just was like, somebody else needs to take control of this thing because that's like, she's like, I'm being abused. Like, it's not, they don't have my best interests at heart.
Could you imagine? Like, I know I say often that if there's any scenario where, they try to spin something and say that it was a suicide or I jumped out of a building, like, y'all better go figure out what the heck happened, because like I'm afraid of heights. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't take my own life, I promise y'all. So don't let them spin that way. And I didn't write that letter. But it's like, absent saying something like that to like everyone around you, and like, give me eye contact, look at me, promise me you go investigate. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you like they anyone can spin it so well.
Yeah.
We watch TV, like they
Yep.
can like make her seem crazy, make her seem like you still look at some videos and some pictures and you be like, something ain't right with that girl.
Yeah.
But who knows why she's doing what she's doing. And I just think it's crazy for her to go for help and no one help her, and for her to have to do all this and have an entire movement behind her to just get someone to say, okay, let's look into this. But here's another thing. Did you hear about he said that her estate was worth, gosh, I could not remember. I want to say like let's say 9 million or something,
Mm-hmm.
4 million, something like that. And when he first took control, and now it's worth 60 million.
Mm.
So
Wow.
he's like, look at what I did with her money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm helping her.
Yeah, but that to me is not the point of the conservatorship. It is to make sure
Bam.
that she is, as a person, okay, making decisions that are personally healthy and, sound for her. And so that makes me even more suspect because it's like, okay, if she is not in her right mind to make decisions for herself, how is she in her right mind to do a residency in Las Vegas or go on tour or do a television show or to do any of these things that she has reportedly been kind of forced to do? I heard, I think one of her tours, she choreographed the entire thing. A choreographer was not even brought in. She did the whole entire tour. And so she's in her right mind to work, but she's not in her right mind to um, make decisions for herself, which is very like, I'm confused there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you've seen like any of the behind the scenes footage of her like on a tour, she's very involved. And I think there's
Mm-hmm.
like one clip that I remember seeing where she was like, well, I know what I want. And
Right.
says it like with a smile. Like, she is very involved. She's not like a robot or like a child that's just told, do this, do it this way, da da da. So it's like that must be so frustrating to literally feel like a prisoner. And I feel like if she was gonna mess up her money, how many celebrities have we seen blow their money? Like, oh well, it's just money.
Right. Exactly.
So it's hers. Like she worked for it. If she want to blow money and take $100, a bunch of $100 bills and throw them in the air on Christmas Day or pass them out to people in the neighborhood, like so what? If she wants to go and buy a $500,000 car, oop, that looks familiar. Like don't celebrities do foolishness like that? Yes,
Hmm.
and
Exactly.
it's hers. So
Exactly.
what about her sister? I know we got to wrap up, but
Wow.
like,
You
what
know
about her
what?
sister, Jamie Lynn?
It's been so crazy watching that also play out because her sister came out saying that she's always been supportive, has never taken a dime from Britney, has never profited off of this conservatorship. And then Britney kind of released a statement on her Instagram, which was basically contrary, saying like, she didn't name. Well, she did in one point where she said that she wasn't happy to see her sister come out at some. She got surprised at an award show where her sister was performing her songs. She said, I didn't like that. But then went on to say, without naming her sister again, that there were family members that were profiting and that were not, um, being there for her as a family member like they should. They were more, worried about profiting off of the situation she's in.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's messed up.
I know. I'm pretty sure there's more to come as she's able to get. I mean, she's already had a victory where she's able to get a different lawyer
Hmm.
assigned to her case, and he has already petitioned to have her father removed. And it looks like her lawyer, like in just this little small time. So that even shows you the lawyer she had before. Like, what the hell was he doing? Because the new lawyer, in like a matter of a month or so, has been able to make headway. Um,
Because she didn't pick that lawyer.
yeah, right. And her
So
father was.
there's a thing called a conflict of interest. So it's like, yeah, her father can have a different lawyer on paper, but if the other lawyer is advocating for the interests of the father, then that can't be Britney Spears' lawyer
Right.
per se. And that's really frustrating because she deserved to have someone representing her interest. I mean, even if you're negotiating a deal where it's just like money between two companies or something like that, like each side needs to have their representation to be able to look at the document and think about things like how they may be affected right now and 10 years down the road, 100 years down the road, whatever the situation. But she like didn't have anybody in her corner, and
Right.
everyone just seemed to be focused on money. And I mean, when I saw that he that now her assets were like 60,000 or 60 million or whatever, and it's like, well, I mean, who's so what?
Mm-hmm.
So what? Like, who's to say that she wouldn't have earned that much money um, without him being there? Because she was working. It's not like he just took her money and flipped it. She was working
Yes, yes,
for that money. She earned that money. And who's to say that it wasn't supposed to be 100 million and
exactly.
40 million of that is missing? And who's like, she don't even care about the money like that. She's mainly saying like, I'm a prisoner. You're making me do therapy in public. Like, the whole media issue was what like kind of spun her out of control in the first place. Her having the difficulties behind the Justin Timberlake breakup and them spinning it
Yeah.
on her, and there were just so many issues going on. And then it's like you're doing things from the outside looking in. It looks like you're like they were doing things to her to like trigger her
Mm-hmm. Yep.
to continue to make her spiral or make her spiral again to where it looks like, look, everyone, she can't manage on her own. She needs me. And I also think it's messed up that, yeah, she has a lawyer who's trying to get him out now. But I also think that people, like, you don't just drop an accusation saying that she was abused and that she's afraid of somebody and there's not consequence or investigation into that.
Right.
I mean, if I was assigned as a guardian, because that's essentially what he is. He's like the guardian of basically her, not just her money or her estate or anything, her health,
Yes.
her like he was over her like how a parent is the guardian of their
Yeah.
child.
She was saying that she was checked into a mental facility, I think multiple times. She said
Hmm.
against her will. She did
Hmm.
not want to go and she was made to check in and stay.
And then I think she said that like one of the times she like they didn't even do anything. It was just like
It was, and she said
stuff.
it was super expensive too.
Yep. So who knows who's like profiting from what? And I mean, listen, money makes the world go round, but it's a special kind of messed up if you're making my world go round with my flipping money.
Hmm.
Like that's messed up. Like this is
Yeah.
my money, leave me alone. And it's just frustrating that like she has to do all of this over like this is all taking place over a decade and someone doesn't come in and be like, wait, this same conservatorship is in place from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If it was child custody even, you would say, okay, let's reevaluate. Now the children are teenagers, they have some say as to, who they want to spend more time with, which house they want to live in, main, for the most part or whatever. So I'm just like, how do you not reevaluate this? And I don't know. I hope, like, best of wishes to Britney. I think this is messed up. And like I said, the girl wanna, I mean, spend $1 million on burgers or, I don't know, wipe her butt with her money. It's her money.
Right.
And she should absolutely have a say. And I think that there should be an investigation as to anything unlawful, illegal, that was done in this situation. Because, what I was saying is that, like, someone can be appointed as a guardian over someone, whether they're, infirm and unable to take care of themselves or whatever, or they're a minor and there's a legal proceeding. The judge can, appoint someone as a guardian, and sometimes it's not a family member. Sometimes it is a court appointed guardian over the person just for the purpose of, like it could be a limited purpose. So it might be, just for the legal proceedings or whatever. But I don't care what the point of it is. The parameters you have to advocate for this person, their best interest in mind. So you don't come in and say, oh, but shoot, if I say that I'm gonna do this, or if we negotiate, then that's a better percentage of me. Nope. You're failing. Like that can't be your goal. So honestly, she needs to take her family out of it, and the attorney there needs to be a separate role for everyone. Like the attorney shouldn't also be the guardian. The attorney shouldn't also, like, there should be, she got enough money, spread it around.
Exactly.
So hire a guardian, someone that, understands what's going on here and that can stand in and say, no, typically in these types of situations, this is how this goes. They hired that lady to be like her assistant, who was really like her little like third parent or something like that. Like the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Like hire someone to step in, and then they get a fee, so there's no issue about like you have a job to do. The same way you go in and work for $50,000 a year, but the company that you work for is $1 billion company. You don't say, I'm only making $50,000. Let me figure out how to steal from this $1 billion company. No, you understand. I'm in here. This is my role. This is my job. I'm doing my job well, and that's that.
Right. And like you said earlier, even with her money, I think it should just be separate. Like, why can't they just have set up a trust with a group of people who are, if she wants to make purchases or whatever, she has to go through the trust. They approve, deny, whatever, and they're looking just at the money. Like that's specifically their job to protect her assets, her money, whatever. Like, why is her dad like over every single thing? It's insane. And I don't know, when I was watching the Framing Britney Spears documentary, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that once a conservatorship is put in place, it's very difficult to eliminate it. So I'm just interested to see how this whole thing plays out, and just hope for really the best for Britney. Like, that's all anybody wants. I mean, now the media played into the crazy and people enjoyed watching it, but I think at the end of the day, nobody wants to see this girl be like, abused and beat down. We all want to see her. It's Britney. Like, we want to see her do good, so hopefully it plays out in her best interest. She's a celebrity, but she's a human. Like, she deserves the basic rights that we all do.
Yeah. Best of luck to her. Best of luck to everybody involved. I mean, I hope her mom can figure, like,
Yeah, she seems to be in her corner, her mom, but she's been very quiet. So
I was and it's like you never know what's going on behind the scenes, but I don't care. Like, my child can, we could have had an issue before, or I could be scared of Jamie too. But I wouldn't be able to just sit back and like let this be going on with my child. I mean, I'll step in.
No.
And I mean, I ain't saying hurt the man, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I ain't saying, but I'm just, no, I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing that would stop me from, like.
No, me too. I would literally, like, I just wouldn't be able to. Like,
So it just like makes you wonder, like, what is going on there that she don't have? Like, even her brother kind of spoke up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and was like that. This is crazy. This is too long.
Yeah.
Like.
The guy who she married, I don't know if you remember when she eloped in Vegas,
Mhm.
that guy spoke out as well and said that they were forced to get a divorce.
Mhm.
Um, and a friend, I think, I don't know if it's the same guy, but a friend spoke out and said that, yeah, she's definitely been, we all have been kind of under wraps, like not able to speak out until now
Mhm.
about how bad it was. So, and Britney herself, I don't even, I just think she just really wants to be free. Like she said, she was
Mhm.
embarrassed by that documentary because she just didn't even want people to see her in that light. She's not looking for to play the
Mhm.
victim or whatever. She very much like, you see her just really wanting to live her own life. She's like, I don't want to be the victim. I don't want to be controlled. I just want to live my own life. So um, I really hope it plays out. And this conversation, I feel like, is to be continued because it's playing out right
We
in
gotta
front of
see what
us.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely be back. I just wish that she could just like get access to her money and just like get a face transplant and change her appearance and then just go live somewhere else and live a normal life because I really think that's what she wants. I don't think
Yeah.
she wants to
Yeah.
perform anymore to be like
You're
and
right.
she could do all right with 60 million. Like she could probably survive. She don't really need to work no more. And
Yeah.
she'll get royalties and stuff from stuff, especially because of this because I kind of low key have the urge to what I'm saying? Hit me, baby, one more time,
That's true.
and you're
Um,
toxic.
I
I'm
mean,
taking.
yeah, her songs are classic. They will
They
go
are.
down in history. I was wondering like where you were going with the face implant thing. I was like, where is she going with this? But I get it.
Girl, just be happy. I mean, at one point, I think she said in something, she was like, I just want to be like normal,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she
Hmm.
doesn't, and if that's what she wants, and that's what she deserves.
Exactly.
Poor thing. So bless up, Brittany.
Yes. Free Britney.
I'm not gonna be out there protesting for
No.
you, girl, but
Mm-mm.
I'm there in spirit, and
we
I'll
just we
follow
just did our
along.
part.
So if you guys haven't heard about it, go research and or tune in for the next one. But we gotta go.
Yep. Bye y'all.